And today we're going to again start on our backs. This time, options would be to have feet wider, knees knocked into each other, bottoms of feet together, knees flopped open, or extend the legs long ahead of you. If you do extend the legs long, try to vary it from your traditional Shavasana through the arms, then maybe bringing arms overhead or out to a T, just something that feels a little bit different from your typical closing shape, so as to not confuse the body too much. Once you arrive in your opening shape, allow yourself to just take a couple of breaths, not changing anything. On your next exhale, really squeeze in through the belly, push out all that bit of stale air. And then inhale more fully, feeling the low belly move, feeling the ribs expand, filling up through the chest and the throat. And then exhale through the mouth. Let's do 2 more of those, really intentionally deep breaths. And full cleansing exhales. From here, direct the breath in and out of the nose. Allow it to be deep, but without any sort of forcefulness about it. And as we're seated here, I would invite you to bring to mind any sort of emotion that you've been feeling lately. It could be something that is pleasant, something that is unpleasant, something that you're pretty neutral about. And as you consider this emotion, I want you to scan through your body and notice where in the body feels most connected to that emotion. For example, in my body, something like restlessness, I often feel more in my throat or in my head. Something like joy, I feel more in my heart space. Something like grounding or alternately unease. Both of those I tend to feel more in my gut. So just kind of find a place in the body that feels most connected to this. And know that no emotion is wrong. Every emotion is here to teach us. Every emotion is equally as real as the other. But there doesn't always need to be a story. So as we move throughout the practice today, whatever zone of the body you associated with whatever emotion you brought to mind, we'll just draw our awareness to it a few different times, maybe giving some extra attention to that place in the body in hopes that we can kind of gently detach from whatever emotion it was. Because even the pleasant emotions, we want to create a little bit of distance from the ability to observe without becoming too wrapped up in it, because the good ends. It's replaced by the bad, but the bad isn't us either. And nothing's really good or bad at the end of the day. It all just is. On an inhale, Reach the arms overhead. Take a nice wiggle from side to side. Wherever the legs are, we'll bring them to be bent, feet on the mat, about hips distance apart. On an exhale, we're going to draw the arms straight up and hug the knees in at the same time. So we're finding this nice compression. Keep the low back grounded, but draw the knees up toward the arms any amount, keeping the head on the mat. Take another stretch, planting the feet, maybe finding another wiggle. And then exhale, curling in. Let's interlace the fingers around the right shin and extend the left leg long. Point and flex the toes a couple times. And then arrive at one of those positions and begin to lower the left leg all the way down to the mat. Hug the right knee in toward the armpit, pushing knee into knee into hands, hands into knee. And then from here, we're going to release the leg through center, interlace the fingers on the other side of the leg, and straighten the leg any amount. On your next exhale, just give a very gentle hugging in of that leg. Keep reaching out of the left toes or ankle, heel. And then from here, release the hands, bring the arms out to a T. We're going to lower the right leg just enough to the right to where we start to lose contact with the left glute. And then gently bring it back up through center, trying to follow that same line, that same path that you took to get down. So lower. Exhale to lift. One more. Lower. Exhale, lift. Bend the knee. Circle out to the right as though you're going to drop it onto the mat. And then come back up through center. Let's do one more of those. Circle out to the right. Come back up. Circle out to the right halfway to where you're opening the leg, and then kick it straight. Give a nice little stretch here, and then bend. Draw all the way back up into center. Hug both knees into the chest. Notice the difference between right and left hip right here. And then interlace the fingers around the left shin. Kick the right leg straight up. Point and flex the toes. Choose one to hold and lower the right leg down. Take a moment to hug the left knee toward the armpit, resisting shin into hands, hands into shin. And then release into center. Release the interlacing of the fingers so that you can relace them behind the leg and kick the left leg as straight as you can. Keep reaching out of the right leg. Gently draw the left leg in just a bit more. And then release the arms out to the sides. Same thing here, keeping that right glute on the mat. Lower the left leg as much as you can. And then use your exhale to gently lift it along that same path. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Last one, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Bend the knee in, and we'll do those circles out to the left. And then back up into center. Out to the left. Back up into center. Out to the left, hold here. Kick that leg long one more time. Rebend, come up through center, hug both knees in. Give a little rock side to side. And straighten both legs at the same time. Flex and point the toes. And then keep both feet flexed. Really reach out of the heels. Draw the thighs gently closer to the body, any amount without using the hands. And then begin to gently lift the hips a little bit, finding little bits of rock. We can escalate this movement, maybe starting to bend into the legs if that feels good. And eventually we're going to find our way up to a seat. Nice. From here, with knees crossed, we're going to do some of those circles that we did last time. So leaning to the right and then forward and up. Just 2 circles this direction. Pause up top and then switch direction for 2 more circles. Inhale, reach the arms tall. Exhale, twist to the right. Right fingertips lower, left hand to right knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, extend. Exhale, rock over the ankles. Find your way into hands and knees. And take a moment to do some circles over the wrists, warming them up. Switch directions if you haven't yet. And then slide the hands forward, a handprint. Slide the knees back just a smidge. We're going to lower the elbows down and then the chest. So we're finding a bit of a child's pose here. But really work on pressing the elbows toward the mat. Feel the space that is created in the shoulders. And then on an inhale, grip into the fingertips. Rock forward to where you're in this kind of forearm tabletop, but keep rocking, lift the elbows, lower the pelvis, lift into cobra pose. Check that you're pressing into the pubic bone, that the elbows are bent, shoulders are drawn back. And then exhale, soften down. Inhale, tent the fingers out wide, wrists beneath elbows, and then peel the heart up, finding this version of a cobra pose. Exhale, lower the left shoulder, look right. Inhale through center. Exhale, lower right, look left. Inhale through center. Exhale, lower completely down to the mat. Cactus the arms hovering above the mat. Press into the tops of the feet, press into the pubic bone, lift the navel, and then peel the heart up. Find a nice active back bend here. Right at the start. Reach the heart forward a bit more. And then exhale, gently release out. Plant the hands. Find your way up and back to your first downward facing dog of this class. Maybe the first downward facing dog of the day. Take about 3 more breaths here, utilizing whatever movement feels good. Check in with that zone of the body that you identified right at the start of class. Notice where it is, how it feels here. And then on an inhale, we're going to lift the right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Lower the knee of the left leg, inhale. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, surrender. Plant the hands, right foot steps back. Lower that knee, inhale. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Hold here for 2 breaths. Feel the shoulders draw gently toward each other, even while you press the mat away. Feel the navel draw in. Lower the knees. Rock past the wrists. Bend the elbows straight back. And then ground the pelvis. Lift the heart up. Cobra pose. Exhale, release. Inhale, locust pose. So second back bend here. Lifting the legs, lifting the arms. Try to lift the legs just a bit more. And then try to lift the heart forward and up. Exhale, soften down to the mat. Use your method of getting up and back to a downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Lower the right knee, inhale. Exhale, step it forward and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Plant the hands, left foot steps back. Lower that knee, inhale. Exhale, right foot back, plank. Find your shape here. This time we're going to lift the right toes off the mat and then draw right knee toward right elbow. And then back to a hover and then knee toward elbow. Back to a hover, step it down, downward dog. 1 breath here. And then find your way back to a plank. Set up strong. Grip into the index finger and the thumb. Lift the left foot to a hover. Knee toward left elbow. Back. Toward the elbow. Back. Step it down, lower the knees. Find your vinyasa into a cobra. Exhale, gently release down. Reach the right arm out to the right, bend at a 90-degree angle, palm face down. Press into the left hand, roll toward your right side. Left hand might come to the left hip. Right ear might lower to the mat. Just kind of draw the chin gently in to keep the neck in line. 2 breaths here. Gently begin to release out, straightening the legs. Coming back into center. Inhale, locust pose. Arms cactus out to the sides. Exhale, release. Left arm plants, 90-degree, palm face down. Roll to the left side. Option to lower the left ear, maybe drawing the chin gently back. Maybe right hand comes to right hip. Breathe into the left shoulder here. Gently begin to release back to the belly. On an inhale, find your locust pose once more. Exhale, release. Your method of getting up and back, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths. We're about to create a little bit longer sequences. On an inhale, reach the right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, rock forward, step that foot to the outer edge of the right hand. Lower the left knee, inhale, right arm up. And then twist open to the right, reaching back, stacking the shoulders. Press into the left hand, lean back. Draw the right hand forward and step the left foot to the outer left hand. Inhale, active squat. Take a breath here. Feel this all through the feet. Feel it up the legs, through the core. And then inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. With hands at heart center, with feet still wide and angled out, I want you to establish a foundation through your legs, through your pelvic girdle, through your core, and then gently just lift from the heart. Finding just a little heart opening here. Keep the shoulder blades drawn toward each other. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up, release out of the back bend. Exhale, active squat. Take a breath here. One more inhale. Exhale, hands down toward the mat. Step the left foot back. So now we're to where we started. Keep the left hand planted. Inhale the right arm up, pivoting on both feet. So everything points toward the right edge of the mat. Nice. Now from here, exhale, lower the hip, reaching back toward that back foot with the fingers. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. On your exhale, lower the right hand down, lower the left knee. Windmill that left, not windmill, I guess, swing the left shin into alignment with the skinny edges of your mat. Crawl the left hand to be in about a equilateral triangle with the right foot and left knee, and then press the right hand into the right knee. As you press hand into knee, knee into hand, maybe bend a little bit deeper. Gently release on an inhale. Crawl both hands back, pivot the left leg back, step back, plank pose. All right, now this time we're gonna find a down dog. Look forward, try to lower both at the same time or choose one to lower, but lower the elbows. Stay here for just one breath. On your exhale, rock forward and let your elbows peel up as you find your chaturanga. And then inhale, heart up. Find your upward dog. Take an extra breath. Find a push-up or a downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip. On your next exhale, draw that leg forward, stepping to the outer left hand. Lower the right knee. Inhale, lift the arm up, the left arm up and back. Again, kind of leaning back. Exhale, bring the left hand forward, step right forward, active squat. Maybe find a little deeper motion here. Maybe balance out the weight of the feet a little better, side to side, front to back. On an inhale, rise all the way. Exhale, hands through heart center. Maybe find that back bend again, really anchoring down through your foundation, Maybe hug those outer hips in to create more stability as you lift the heart. Hands can stay at heart center, or we can bring thumbs to shoulders. Inhale, release out, reaching up. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center, close the eyes. Scan through your body. Maybe bring your attention or even your hands to that place in your body where you are feeling whatever emotion you've been feeling lately. Breathe into that space. See if you can create a little more spaciousness in that zone. And as you feel ready, we'll inhale, opening the eyes, reaching the arms up. And exhale, active squat. Here for just a breath. Exhale, hinge forward, plant the hands, right foot steps back. Keep the right hand planted, sweep the left arm open and pivot on both the feet to point them toward the left long edge of the mat. On an exhale, we're gonna lower the hips, left fingers reach back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. On the exhale, bring the left hand down, face the front edge, but lower the right knee, and then sweep the shin into alignment with the skinny edges of the mat. Again, the torso comes kind of 45 degrees to either of our contact points of our legs. Right hand stays planted, left hand presses into the left knee, and the left knee presses back. All right, and as we press, maybe we bend into this left leg just a bit more. Finding some more opening of the inner thigh. On an inhale, let's gently release. Crawl the hands back. Curl the right toes under and step it back, plank pose. This time from a plank, lower one or both, and you might have to kind of shift back a little bit to lower both elbows. And then from here, press back, dolphin. Take a breath. Use the exhale to rock forward, peel up the elbows, chaturanga, upward dog. In your upward dog, check that the glutes are on, check that the pubic bone still drives down even though it's hovered above the mat. And then find your way up and back, downward facing dog. From here, let's lower the knees. Big toes together, knees wide, torso upright. Vajrasana. Palms face up on the knees, eyes closed. Find your breath here. Because we have a longer close tonight, with specific breath work involved, I'm not going to cue a specific pranayama here. We won't be here long. But I want to give us just a moment to reset before we move into our next set. On an inhale, let's open the eyes. Draw the knees together. Reach the hands forward. As you lift the sit bones up, curl the toes under, and then send the hips back. And we're going to work on lifting both knees up to a toe stand. All right, once you're there, we just go back. Lower the knees down. This time, bring the torso all the way up. Fingers point down. Hands are at the highest point of the hips. The palms are kind of cupping the highest points of the hips. Toes can stay tucked or not, whatever feels better to you. But engage through the legs. Press down through the knees. Feel the thighs and the glutes firm up. Shoulders draw back toward each other. And then press the hips forward, lift the heart. Maybe let the head fall back, finding camel pose. On an inhale, inflate the body, ease out. Reach the arms up. Exhale down, tuck the toes. Lift back up, toe stand. Exhale, lower the knees. And this time we're going to bring the hands forward. We're actually going to lower to the belly. All right, so I'm gonna show you one of my favorite movements that I haven't done in a very long time. It's fun, but you have to trust yourself, okay? That's a key part of it. You have to just trust yourself. So I want us all right now, no arms involved, relax onto the mat, feel how your chin hits the mat. And then I want you to press into the pubic bone and lift the chin up without even really lifting the arms. So know that there's this much space here, even without like actively lifting the arms or anything, okay? Notice how much space is between your face and the mat. That's important for what comes next, all right? So we can release back out of this. Move the hands back, almost in line with ribs, maybe even underneath the elbows. They're way further back than we normally use them. You can tempt the fingers, that might feel more comfortable. Draw the shoulders toward each other, press into the feet, press into the pubic bone, lift the torso up actively, and then add in the pressing of the hands. All right, so right now we're just in a deeper back bend than normal, a deeper cobra. What we're gonna do is release the hands and reach them forward. And it's gonna be a rock, okay? So you might just watch me first. We're gonna keep our glutes active, keep our back active, and then reach. And the feet come up. All right, so we let the legs come up. All we do is keep our back bend and reach, and then come back up. All right, and if your glutes stay engaged, yes! I love watching you guys do this, it's so great. If you keep your glutes engaged, your back is gonna feel strong the whole time, okay? And your face is not gonna come anywhere near the mat. It's gonna be like 6 inches above, okay? So just trust yourself, try it. Glutes engaged, reach the arms forward, rock, and then find your way back up. Yes, this is so fun. All right, let's do one more. Come back up, exhale, come all the way onto the belly. Press into the hands and back to somewhere between a child's pose and a tabletop. Wiggle out the back. Sometimes just being a little playful and unpredictable on the mat is enough to wake up the body in new ways, move through some stickiness. All right, we're gonna get ready for our last set. It's a short one, but it's a fun one. So plant the hands and find your downward dog. On an inhale, sweep the right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. We've done so much back bending that if you want to flip it over into a wild thing, it probably feels pretty accessible right now in relation to normal. Look at the left toes, make sure they point toward the long edge of the mat. And then I want you to gaze down at your left hand, or even at the right edge of the mat. Just gaze down somewhere toward the mat. Bring the right hand down in front of you, and then draw it up until it's at your heart, like you're drawing a bow. And then from there, press into the left hand. Bring the right leg up into our side tree plank and step it forward. Whew, that's a big one. Yes. If we were to lower the right hand, it would be inside of the right foot. So we're stepping just how we did. It kind of steps out and forward. From here, lower the left knee. Inhale, right arm up and open, reaching back. Maybe you bind the foot this time. Totally don't have to. But if you want to work on getting into that left quad, maybe you pull the foot in toward the sit bone. If you want to work on deepening into the hips, maybe you kick the foot into the hand. Right? They'll work different parts of the body. One more breath here. And then gently release, unwind. Step the left foot forward outside of the left hand. Inhale, active squat, which after all of that might even feel like an easier pose, even though it's not. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pivot over the right knee. From here, sweep the left leg up and back, finding warrior 3 at this angle. Try to find some levelness of the hips. We think of left hip, knee, and toes all pointing down. Feel some buoyancy here, maybe drawing in the navel to support the low back. We can think of reaching out of the left heel and out of the crown of the head to find length. Maybe the arms open wide. Maybe they come back by the sides. Maybe one reaches forward and one back. Play with it. If you're like me, play too much and fall. And then as you're ready, exhale, lower the fingertips, lift the left leg up, standing splits. Option to tent the left fingers way out to the left and grab onto the back of the right ankle with the right hand. As you draw the torso toward the leg, keep reaching the heart toward the toes, keep lifting with that left leg. Feel that glute engage. Exhale, lower the left toes down at the back edge of the mat. Face the front edge of the mat. And heel toe, this right foot off to the left, lowering the shin bone. All right, so we're set up in our active pigeon right now. This is a hard shape. So experiment with lifting the hips higher, lower, finding a place that feels most stable, and then maybe bring the hands back to the right shin. Keep flexing the left toes, drawing right knee back. That stability will help find lift here. If it feels okay to do so, lift the arms up, finding a really active pigeon, maybe back bending just a bit. Wherever you are, gently release the hands forward. Slide those toes back, lower down. Whew, should feel like sweet release. Active pigeon is no joke. And then gently decide if it would feel better to stay upright or to crawl forward, and honor what arises. Really think of releasing here. We're not here long, but I want us to soak it up while we are here. One more nice juicy breath. And then on an inhale, we'll crawl the hands back in toward the body. Curl the left toes under, nudge that knee forward. Maybe do it again. Shortening the stance where you can liberate the right leg back. Finding a tabletop or a down dog to just wiggle it out in. From there, find your downward dog and we'll finish off our flow. Inhale, left leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip. If you flip the dog, do so again. Finding your wild thing. Again, look down toward the mat. Bring the left arm almost toward the right wrist, and then draw it up like you're drawing the bow until your hand is at your heart. Bring the left leg into a tree plank, and then step it forward. Whew, yes, so much strength there. Lower the right knee, reach the left arm up, inhale. Open toward the back edge of the mat. Maybe catch the back foot. Doing whatever you did on the other side. Gently release. Pivot to face forward. Curl the right toes under, lift that knee. And we're gonna hop to the front edge of the mat. Inhale, find your active squat. Exhale, hands to heart center, pivot to face Fingers in the same direction as the left toes. Weight into the left foot as you sweep the right leg back and up. Working those same engagements, thinking of lifting through that leg, but pointing knee, toes, hip downward. Maybe the arms extend in some way. Maybe you just play with moving the arms slowly, finding balance, not worrying what the arms are doing. And then from here, we'll exhale, hinge forward. Fingertips on the mat, reach the right leg up. Tent the right fingers way out to the right and grab the left heel with the left hand as you pull the torso down. Keep reaching the right leg up, really feeling that glute and hamstring work in there. I was gonna say your glute work on its butt off. Be a meta butt. Exhale, lower the right toes. On an inhale. What did we do here? Shoot, guys. Does anyone remember? Can you unmute yourself and tell me?
The shin down to pigeon, right? Shin
Yes.
parallel.
Oh, thank you, Megan. Sorry, sometimes I get a little too caught up in the flow myself. All right, reach the hands forward and heel toe the left foot across the mat. My body's like, yeah, obviously we went to pigeon here. We need it right now. Okay, so lowering the shin, we keep the right knee lifted for this active pigeon. And again, play with your spacing here. It might be different on this side. Crawl the hands back to the left shin. Keep thinking left hip forward, right hip back, hips are level. Maybe the arms come up if that feels accessible. Maybe you find a little back bend. Wherever you are, we can gently release forward. Slide the right toes back and set up for our traditional pigeon. Again, this isn't a long hold. It's not as long as we normally get in a pigeon pose, but it's long enough for us to fully release. One more nice deep breath. And then inhale the torso up. Again, do what you gotta do to liberate this left leg and bring it back. Wiggling out side to side. And eventually crossing the ankles, grab your strap and roll onto your back. So we're not gonna do a super long version of this shape, but this is a great one to hold for a while. We'll just catch the right foot with the strap, just below the ball of the foot. And then bring the left hand to the left hip. Press the left leg long on the mat. Get a moment here just to establish some length in the right leg and the left leg. And then we're gonna switch. We're gonna bring the strap into the left hand, bring the right hand to the right hip, and even work your thumb into that crease above the thigh. All right, now we don't have to go far here. I want you to push into that crease with your right hand, feeling yourself manipulate your hips a little bit, and then draw the leg just enough to the left where you feel it. It's not much. I am not much beyond center here with my leg, but if I keep pressing away with my right hand, I can really feel that outer hip. Breathe into that space. Inhale, draw the leg back up through center, bend the knee, release the strap. Go ahead, hug both knees in for a moment. Feel the difference again in the hips. And then we'll just switch sides. So catching the left foot, right hand to right hip as you extend that leg long. And then switch. Right hand holds the straps, left thumb works its way into the hip crease and really pushes away to where you can already feel something, probably even before the leg crosses the body, any amount. And just go until you do feel that nice sensation that feels productive, but not like it's too much. On an inhale, gently release through center. Again, hug both knees in. You can set the strap off to the side. And then from here, we're going to set up for our final shape of the day. It might feel really nice to let the legs go up a wall or to rest on a sofa or a chair in a bent position with the knees kind of at the edge of the seat. It could feel really good if you have, a bolster or blocks or anything that you want to add in to just elevate the knees in an otherwise kind of traditional shavasana. Wherever you find yourself, if you have a blanket or something to add a little extra weight, it can feel really nice to place over the belly. But I also want to encourage you to consider whatever body part you've been kind of keeping in your mind as to where you've been feeling that big emotion lately. If it is in your belly, then yeah, put the blanket on the belly. If it's more in your head, maybe you have something on your forehead, maybe even gently over the eyes to allow some pressure there. If it's in your chest, place the blanket on your chest. Ultimately, allow yourself to add a little bit of compression into that zone. Once you arrive, gently work the shoulder blades beneath you for a little easier breathing. Give the head a wiggle side to side, nod it up and down. Find a nice neutral positioning. Relax through the body, starting by wiggling toes and fingers and getting subtler and subtler with those movements until finally you find some stillness. Soften through the wrists and the ankles, the hips and the shoulders. Slacken the jaw, the tongue. Soften that space where the eyelids meet. Find your breath. Feel on every inhale the expansion from top to bottom. Inhaling down into the depths of the belly, maybe even expanding into the bowl of the pelvis, but also reaching up into the chest and into the throat. And then on the exhale, it all draws gently back in. As we inhale again, there's that expansion from top to bottom, bottom to top. And then we exhale, and it draws gently back in. Notice too the expansion from side to side. On every inhale, the ribs widen left to right, right to left. On every exhale, they draw gently toward one another again. Picture the lungs inflating, the ribs expanding, and then relaxing back in toward one another, left to right, right to left. Notice too the expansion from front to back. On every inhale, we feel the body rise on the front side and press down toward the earth on the back side as we fill up with breath. And on every exhale, again, there's that drawing towards center. The body drawing back in toward itself. Inhale to expand, front to back, back to front. Exhale to draw back toward that center. Without putting forth too much effort, hold the entirety of all of that expansion, top to bottom, side to side, front to back. Hold a vague outline of your body in your mind's eye. And as you inhale, see the expansion in every direction. And as you exhale, see that it draws inward. Every breath a reminder of how we can reach outward, how we can fill up, and also of how we can draw in and find center. Inhaling to expand, to reach out to others, to affect the world. Exhaling to receive, to draw in, to be affected. In your next inhale, consciously deepen the breath. Exhale, maybe with a sigh or a yawn. Another nice deep inhale, maybe even deepening further. Maybe adding in little wiggles, fingers of toes. Exhale through the mouth. Continue to gently escalate in this way, maybe adding in circles of the ankles, of the wrists. Maybe reaching the arms up overhead and giving the body a little wiggle side to side, through the shoulders, through the hips. As it feels okay, you can draw the knees gently inward. We'll eventually roll to one side. But let this be a thing that happens at a pace that works for your body, for your energy right now. We can eventually find a seat. Take a moment here. For one final time today, bring your attention to whatever zone of your body you've been bringing your attention to. And just observe without judgment, without expectation, if anything has changed from start to end. Knowing that there's no expectation, there's no should involved in this. We experiment and we observe and we experiment and we observe. And sometimes emotions take a long time to work through. Sometimes a couple mindful breaths in that direction can completely dissipate it. So just notice. Be present with whatever is. And on an inhale, we'll sweep the arms out to the sides and up. Exhale, thumbs pause at the forehead, the mouth, and heart center. Right, we remember our own expansiveness. Right, we remember our own center. Namaste.